You're about to witness a seismic event.
Daddy, can you put on Skitbags radio?
No, go to bed.
Okay, yeah, that's the promo.
Boom. Coming summer 2019.
Princess Natasha, the mermaid, she's been taken by Lord Mostimor. Oh my God. You know what we have to find? We have to find Themo. Finding Themo. Themo is strong. Themo is fast. Themo is from the mean streets of Georgia and the beautiful hills that careen to your mind. Where's Themo? I don't know. But he's in with the Skitbags, so we'll find him on Skitbags Radio. That's right. We got Themo Melikidze.
He put in some thought into that. Wow.
We found him.
We found him into that. That was quick.
We got him.
That energy is unbelievable. that energy is beautiful.
It's just fueled by gin.
That's right.
That's right.
You gotta say it heated me up.
Yeah, right?
It warmed me up. Absolutely.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
It's already warm outside, so that definitely adds up an extra layer onto it. That was great. That was a great intro.
I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to the show.
Man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you reaching out to me and making this happen.
I didn't want to do it until we had our stuff dialed in. And now we got it dialed in. And now I'm like, yo, this is the time. You got to bring him on, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, 100%.
I love the spot. I love how everything looks. But the main thing is the energy, man. I feel like you guys are really like vibing off of each other. And
Yo, big shout out to Carl for leading us in, dude.
God damn, you have to do some research.
Yeah, you think he planned that out, but no. I said finding Themo 30 seconds before, and he expanded
Made a whole fucking story.
And then she called her a mermaid earlier. And finding Themo, the mermaids in the water. Themo, you know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
By the way, let me iron this out because I'm concerned that I've been doing this wrong. Is it Themo? How would you like this pronounced? Because I suck at this in life. Yeah. All right, bro. And it's not offensive, so I want to just do whatever you want.
Okay, let me clear it up, right? So my original name is Temuri.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's where that stems from.
See, Temuri sounds a little bit too difficult. When I came here, I noticed people were like, "What?"
Temuri.
So I changed it to Themo. Yeah. Right? But now when I go into Starbucks and they ask for my name, I just say Tom.
See, that's America. Yeah. That's America.
That's perfect.
But
That's right.
yo, Themo.
Themo. Out of all those that you listed, Themo was not on that list.
So for years, I've been saying Themo, like Themo, and then like it's Melikidze.
By the way, I was like I'm so glad Carl does the intro because I don't even have to attempt the pronunciation of your last name. And I love you, bro, but I'm like I'm just a novice.
It sounds intimidating, or it looks intimidating, but it's actually not. Yeah, it's actually not.
So give us a breakdown. Tell the audience out there what you want to be described as. How should we address the GOAT right now?
Yo, you guys been doing an amazing job. Themo Melikidze, that's it.
There we go.
Themo,
there we go.
That's good too.
Themo.
It's all good. Yeah. It's
all right.
Good.
Welcome.
So for our listeners out there, we always start out every episode with a breakdown of a movie or a TV show, and we are graced by the gods themselves because not only do we have our esteemed illustrious guest on the show today, but we are breaking down one of his most iconic roles that he's ever been in, and we're going to talk about Patriots Day. You guys seen Patriots Day?
Yeah, it's great. Great movie.
Great fucking movie. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of what it's like on set, and before we get into the intricacies of actually acting in it and filming it, why don't you give our listeners out there a little summary about what the movie is out for the layman who hasn't, the person who's been living under a rock. Give them a little bit of insight about what the movie's about and all that jazz. Give them a little pitch.
The movie stars Mark Wahlberg.
Boo, boo.
And it's about
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I love you, Mark.
and it's about the Boston Marathon bombing that happened in 2013. And Peter Berg directed it, and he got an amazing cast together, which I was honored to be part of.
Dude, you earned every role.
Yeah.
You earned every bit of that.
Yes,
we'll get into that. But
yes,
go through
it. We shot it in Boston. We depicted the story as honest and as true as possible. We honored the people that fought that week when the tragedy happened, and yeah, I think we made a hell of a movie. So if you haven't seen Patriots Day yet, and you want to know more about what happened that day in 2013 in Boston, you should definitely check it out.
Yeah.
But so the film itself chronicles like what, a 48-hour period, a 72-hour period, like a 3-day period before, during, and after.
Mainly the manhunt,
right?
When it happened, right after the bombing. Yeah.
So there's like a little bit of setup with the characters of like creating the backstory between your character, your brother's character, you know, that type of aesthetic.
Yeah.
But
family
it's
dynamic.
really, you're right. It's really centric around what happens in the city.
Exactly, and how everybody was affected by it. We follow Mark Wahlberg's character, we follow J.K. Simmons' character, Kevin Bacon's character. So John Goodman is in it too, and it's just the crazy thing is that it was real.
Yeah.
It's not fiction.
Yeah.
Dude, I was going to save this story to bring up, but now it's an appropriate time. When we were hanging out about a year ago, you told me a story about what it was like to film on set with, you had, for those of you, correct me if I'm wrong in any of this, but from what I remember, the film had incorporated people from the actual incident as extras and as people on set. So there was real Boston PD there
those were real people
playing
there?
cops.
Absolutely.
There was real
Absolutely.
victims of the bombing being victims on set. So it brought back a lot of nostalgia, a lot of post-traumatic stress. I can't even imagine. I wasn't there. I have no perspective other than what I've heard, third person from people. But one of the stories I felt was really interesting and to highlight was, didn't a police officer come up to you and say it to not so intricate words, say like, I know you're an actor, I know this is all fake, but bringing this back into my world, I want to beat the shit out of you right now. So why don't you go in your terms explain this, because I'm sure I'm butchering this now.
No, absolutely. I know what you're talking about. It was actually one of the most weirdest but the best compliment as an actor I could ever get. And we were filming the bombing scene. We had over like 600 extras just for the bombing scene. And when I walked out, I was fully dressed in my costume and whatnot. I was preparing. I was secluded from everybody, but everybody could see me, right? So it was insane because walking up to the set, it was they built the set on an airstrip, on a private airstrip. So it was huge. It was insane. So when I was walking to the set, I heard the crowd cheering and whatnot. And the moment I got on the set, everybody went quiet. So like imagine just 600 people just going quiet and just all looking at me, and they all like started whispering.
Dude, props to you for like keeping it together as an actor with that.
You, man.
That's intense.
Yeah. Well, question about that, because you said it felt kind of weird. In this internet world, people are stupid.
Yeah.
Have you gotten any kind of weird internet backlash from playing like people
absolutely.
like almost like your Danny Glover in The Color Purple, and they still hate you for 20 years?
Yeah.
Before you get into the backlash, I want to hear the rest of the story.
Sorry,
like, straight up, like your call. I love that. That's a great question, but like, come on, like I want to hear the rest of this. So you're at the airport. You built the set out.
Exactly.
What's
So I'm walking to the set, and then suddenly everybody sees me, and they all go quiet, and I hear them whispering. I mean, they were whispering really loud, so I heard them all saying, "That's the guy that's there." So I'm just like,
that's not funny. I'm sorry.
Trying to prepare, and the great thing is the team behind the movie, they were so supportive, and that's really like something that every actor really needs, and it gets really underrated sometimes. But they were very supportive, and at one point we're about to shoot after like 2 rehearsals, and this police officer, who's a real police officer, he came up to me, and he said, every time I look into your face, I want to squash you with a stone.
Oh God, that's so much more intense than beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, and then he leans over and then tells me, "Good luck." So
like a true Boston.
Yeah, so he knows the situation, but at the same time, he wanted to get that off of his chest, and I loved it, man. That was I was speechless. I couldn't say anything. I just said thank you.
This is so amazing to me that these two worlds collide. You have the fictional world of you creating a story, paying homage with your guys' movie of telling the story of what actually happened, and you being this character that is representing a real person, and then you utilize actual people who are in the event that affected them in their real lives. So as an actor, that had to have been so much more difficult, because normally on set that doesn't happen. You know, even if you're playing like I'm sure what was it? We got the Ted Bundy movie coming out with what's his face? Yeah. Zac Efron didn't fucking worry about Ted Bundy coming into his set and that's a not thing. He didn't worry about the victims coming up on set and reenacting this.
I was not.
Were you prepped? Did you know that they were going to use real people? So you just showed up on set and they just blindside you? That's wild.
Peter Berg, man, that's what's amazing working with Peter Berg is that he loves surprising the actor. He loves not planning things out and just seeing it where it goes. He has a documentary type of filmmaking, that style.
Did a good job.
Yeah, he did. And it's so hard, man. It's so hard because I remember right before I put down my backpack, when we rehearsed it, right, there was always one woman next to me. And it was just a woman and a guy. Then when we actually shot the scene, the woman was there, but she had a little carriage. So there was a little kid inside the carriage. So
how did it pull at your heartstrings?
Exactly. We didn't rehearse. Yeah. So I'm standing there and I'm looking and I see them and we're filming and that only heightened the scene just so much more. And slowly I put down my bag and I swear to God, I had tears in my eyes putting down the bag.
So I'd like to have your insight of how you develop this character because it is hard playing a villain. Right, it's hard playing a character that happened in real. It's one thing to play the Joker, which is a fictional character. It's another thing to play a person who did a horrific event. You know, so how was your prep for that? How did you get into that as an actor?
You know how people talk about, and actually me and Natasha were talking about this earlier, how people talk about how actors prepare for the part and they gain weight or they build muscle or they,
Christian Bale, whatever.
And then people give them props for that. But actually, why? I don't understand that. That's what we're supposed to do. It's like waking up and then giving somebody a reward for brushing their teeth.
To take notes out there.
You know what I'm saying? Take notes. They make videos, they make reviews, they analyze, oh my God, Christian Bale gained so much. Dude, he's an actor. That's his job.
I'm not paying you $3 million, $5 million, $10 million to just sit on your ass.
So when I was telling people what I was doing, they were surprised. I'm like, why are you surprised? That is what I'm supposed to do. I'm not expecting to get any type of credit for this or any type of reward or any type of recognition. Oh my God, he prepared for his part. We need to, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's something I never got in this industry. Mm-hmm. Every time somebody, big shot, I'm not a celebrity yet, but what I'm saying, a big star would prepare for Superman or Spider-Man or any role that he needs preparation for, and he gains muscle, like the guy who did Tarzan. He got so much
Skarsgård.
Great actor, right? And on YouTube you can find so many videos and so many people just talk about him gaining muscle, but that's what he's supposed to do, man. If you're in this for the love of it, and if you're in this with passion, you're not I'm going to do something special. Let me prepare for the part. Let me gain weight. Obviously, that's what you got to do. So to me, that was nothing special. I had to go, I had to do things that normally in my life would never do. I was watching jihadi videos. I was watching suicide.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because your method, I know your background. I know you. Shout out to Mickey Goose. Shout out to Beverly Hills Playhouse. But still, you are one of the actors in this town that approaches things with that level of intent.
100%.
So I think how did that affect you? Having to watch all that stuff. How did that? Not only how did you take that reality and interpret it into a character for a fictional movie. Granted, it's based on a reality, but it's such a blurred line because this is a historical fiction.
Yeah.
It's not I just wrote this script and you have to do this character of Narnia. Yeah. It's this shit really happened and people really do this.
And you know what it is? Not only that, but this was my big shot. This was my, as I was in LA for not even 4 months.
Really?
Yeah, I was only 4 months.
Hey, wait, did you suck a dick?
Damn.
Dude, Harvey Weinstein's already in jail, bro. We don't even bring up bullshit. Why are you bringing up bullshit?
He was out back then. He was out back then. That's all I'm saying.
He said the audition.
I know. No. We're fucking around. It's all good.
So what happened was, when I came out to LA, I did not know anybody, man. I did not know anybody, but I knew one thing, that I was not going to leave this town until I made or I lived up to whatever I said that I was gonna do. So to have that opportunity to work with Mark Wahlberg and Kevin Bacon and John Goodman with these, heroes. I mean, come on, like Ted 2, freaking, you know what I mean? Mark Wahlberg, The Departed. Like, I grew up on these movies, you know what I'm saying? And now I get the chance to like be with this guy in a movie. That was, to me, that was the opportunity of a lifetime. So I had to commit myself 100%. So, and it did affect me, absolutely. I remember, like, listening to these songs and watching these videos. At one point, my mother was calling me, and I had it playing it in the background. And she's like, "What are you listening to?" I didn't even know. Like, I was listening to it, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm just turning this off."
Oh my God,
That's my mother and me. Like, every time she calls me or sees me anywhere, she's like, "What are you listening to?" This like some dude in the back, like these fucking bitches need to stop treating men like shit. She's like, "CJ, what are you listening to?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing, mother."
Oh my God, nothing. So, yeah, man. So, it was a hell of a ride. It was. I had to feel somewhat. First of all, like, you got to know this about the guy, right? He had a lot of friends.
Break it down. Let's get in depth because I feel like this is an insight that people don't get from just watching the movie.
They don't know exactly. They assume a lot of things, but they don't know exactly what happened. So he had a lot of friends. He was very successful socially. I actually trained with his boxing coach for multiple sessions.
Wow.
In his gym.
Wow.
Yes.
So you're going completely method.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I told him.
I'm so glad that you didn't get lost in the character.
Yeah, no Heath Ledger. No Heath Ledger up in this thing. Yeah, we don't need that.
Anyways, I love your commitment. Please break it down for us.
Yeah, so we had multiple sessions in his in the boxing gym, and he gave me just things that I could not get from any journalist or any person who covered the whole event. So
nuances of personality traits, I bet. Right? Like when he does a jab, he counters with this.
Yeah.
Logistical in the moment stuff.
He even had a very special type of fighting, which I learned too with the guy. Yeah. And he said, he was a polite young man, very talented, very good boxer apparently, and like if you talk to him, you would never expect to do anything like that. And he had a kid and he had a wife. So now to imagine this guy having a normal lifestyle like anybody else, to do something like that, it's just mind-boggling. You know what I'm saying?
From your research, and because I feel like you've done more intensive research in the background of this individual and his family and the character versus what can possibly be conveyed in a short hour and a half, 2 hour movie. Based on all that research, what do you think is lacking as far as because you say it's like unexpected that you would think that somebody would do this. Like this sounds like a person that maybe I would befriend if I went to the same boxing gym. Maybe I would just engage with an everyday conversation as a nonchalant thing. How does that transition from your judgment and based on all your experiences as an actor and researching this part? How do you think that came from this perception of an everyday Joe to what happened? And you say you watched jihadist videos and preparation. I'm curious because I think our audience is asking the same questions. How does a human being wrap their head around justifying that thing? And I don't know if there is an answer. I don't know. But I'm just asking you, from what your research has done, what have you kind of discerned over the years?
You said it. There is no answer to that. I don't know. I don't know how one person can just change like that. I did notice that there are stages in which everything happened. He had a domestic violence charge.
I didn't know that. That's an important detail.
And he went back to Russia, where he supposedly was trained. And
fuck you, Russia.
And because of that domestic violence charge, he couldn't compete for the national team. So he couldn't
boxing.
Yeah, for boxing. I think he couldn't get the green card.
So he was trying to be professional boxer.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was definitely trying to be a professional boxer. But at the same time, man, there was also just so much bullshit. about him being a Muslim, about him being, that was it was all.
Yeah, they
bullshit.
said that one had nothing to do with
No,
it. Really,
no, of course not. Of course not. It has
They were
nothing to
supposed
do
to
with
be
it.
from
Yeah.
Kazakhstan or
And
something, right?
No, not Kazakhstan. No, from they were speculating about Chechnya and
Chechnya.
but he was actually
Chechnya.
he was actually Dagestani ethnic.
Oh.
But aside from all that, look, man, there is no answer to this. He was a sick psychopath that that deserved what he eventually got. And aside from that, us making this movie was about the heroes of that day, and it was about the people that got affected by it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I kind of wanted to
So the reason we had to do every single character so real, otherwise it would feel one-dimensional, and it would not be as how would I say, almost satisfying.
Authentic. Yeah.
And exactly. So for me and Alex, who played an amazing
shout out.
you know what?
to
Yeah,
your co-star.
absolutely. Shout out to Alex Wolf. We had such a crazy chemistry on the set. We feed off of each other. Yeah.
Came through
And-
on screen.
Yeah. So we had to do our part as authentic as possible in order for the people that needed that shining light for that to come through.
Which is a testament to you guys' acting ability, where you have an actual Boston cop who lived through the experience coming up to you and saying those words and understanding the context of what's going on in that day, but still being like, yo, this brings back my memories. And that means you're doing your job.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And like
exactly.
that's huge. And it's
it
a
is.
great
That's what I'm saying. It was
it's
one of the
a
best
freaky thing
compliments.
to experience, I bet, as an actor, because at the same time you're like, I don't want to be known as a individual associated with this particular story,
Like
but
typecast.
at the same time I'm here doing a job, and I'm doing it and I'm crushing it so well that people are associating and believing it as if it's real.
Oh yeah. Oh, and then circle back to that. The internet feedback. Are you getting some real world kickback from actual strangers that hate you for no reason?
Yes. On Facebook, it was insane. I had to close down my Facebook, so I closed it. I had people they thought I was that guy. They thought he was still alive while in the movie. He's not. He's dead.
Yeah.
And they're like, I had messages like, you filthy terrorist.
Wow.
You should go back to your country. Wow. I can't believe you did that. Aren't you this? I was shocked by some, by the ignorance of some people.
Yeah, welcome to America.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You should send those messages to the Golden Globes and the Oscars hey, Golden Globes, Oscars. I
great
tore
at-
this roll the fuck up. Look at the people. They want me dead,
We're great
bro.
at a
I
lot of
killed
stuff,
Crazy.
but
It was insane. It was
Kind of
insane.
expect that.
People actually thought that I actually killed people. They were like, "How did you feel killing all these people? You should be ashamed of
Now,
yourself."
Crazy.
I know. How was that experience of getting from the other end of the spectrum of people supporting you because of that role?
Oh yeah, huh?
Well,
That must have been surreal.
it's supporting as in my
Not like your
friends,
acting
was there a
ability, but
positive
thinking it's real.
output?
Thinking we support your movement. Good job blowing these people up. Blah blah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't have a lot of that. I had some weird messages on Instagram, but you know what I mean. You get that all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I really did not have I didn't have a lot of that. And now now that I'm thinking of it, I can't really remember one thing.
Nobody good job, brother. Great job taking.
No.
That's right. Show those Americans.
For anyone out there listening, if you're thinking
Nobody
about
like that.
sending
You know what
Themo
I
a
mean?
message, stay the fuck away, bro.
Nobody like that.
I'm guard dog on this shit. I'm protecting you.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. After the movie came out, I mean, first of all, me watching the movie for the first time, I was like, what the fuck?
Weren't you watching the premiere with you and Mark right next to? And you guys in the front row.
Dude, we're on the red carpet. And suddenly,
Tell people about the experience, because I don't think they really recognize what the inside is.
It was insane because me and Alex, we took the limo together. We're bumping Notorious B.I.G., listening to Warning. You know what I mean? Getting ready. By the way, that's how we got ready for every single scene.
Really?
We got in the trailer. We would get in the trailer and have so much footage which I cannot show ever. But you know what I'm saying? We were in the trailer and we were just rocking A$AP Rocky, Biggie, Mobb Deep,
Nice.
Tupac. We would go nuts, getting pumped up, and then go out on the set. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, that's just how thugs do it before they go shoot somebody. You know, listen to something to get you hyped, something to get you turned on.
No.
Oh, we about to do this?
Carl
That's
said
right.
it.
I'm about to go blow
Carl
up a
said
bunch
it.
of
That's
people in
what
the
I mean.
streets, son. That's right. I'm gonna bang some
so
shit.
it was more like internally to pump ourselves up, and And hey, look, in that moment, you're an actor. You got to do what you got to do to prepare for the part and to prepare for the scene. So it was amazing. And then going to the red carpet, I did not, or the premiere, I did not really realize it was happening until the movie started and everybody went quiet and it was like, holy shit! Now there's no turning back. This is my first time watching it. And everybody else from the cast, they had already watched it. But I purposely, I didn't want to go for the earlier screenings. I wanted to watch it on the opening itself. So that was incredible. My boy, Mickey Gooch showed up.
Shout out.
He showed up.
Fearless leader.
Bro. He was there at the red carpet. He's like, yo, Tim, what's up? So he supported me. Shout out for him for that.
Nice.
So, but it was, look, all the jokes aside, man, this movie was needed. This movie was incredible. And shout out to everybody in Boston, you know what I mean, who did what they had to do that day. And
absolutely,
yes, and shout out to Peter Berg, man. Yeah. You have no idea, this guy, choreographing these scenes and directing these scenes, and he shoots multicam, so he's so like hands-on. It's unbelievable. And when he communicates with actors, he doesn't use these big fancy words. Like he uses like, sometimes he gets into a depth of like almost like on an animal level. Like he uses like animal descriptions in order to convey what he wants to see. And actually a lot of the scenes between me and Alex were improvised.
Nice. Really?
That scene where me and him, where I go off and I grab him and I smack him and I tell him.
That was improvised?
The whole scene from the car.
God damn.
From the car until us
Shout
leaving.
the fuck out, bro. Good job.
It was us improvising the whole thing, because we did it a couple of times following the script mainly, and then Pete, he would just come up to me, he's like, I want that coming from the gut. I want to see it in your eyes. I want it to come, let it all out. Nothing too fancy, you know what I'm saying? But somehow the way he talked to you, he would get that energy and he would give it off to you, so you could, you know what I'm saying, get pumped by it. So we improvised the whole scene. Actually, in one of the cuts, when I throw him in the car, I slammed the door too quick, so it was against his leg. So we had to like take a break for 10 minutes because it was hurting so much. And then we did it again. And the slap, everything was unscripted. It was not in the script. It just happened that way. So and he loved that, man. Pete loves that shit, man. You know, he trusts you, and then at the same time you gain that trust back with the director. And if you could work in an environment like that, and everybody else on the set, oh my God, was so committed. J.K. Simmons, one of the most incredible actors I've ever witnessed.
OG vet.
Absolutely. So this guy, right, who's he's incredible, winning an Oscar for Whiplash. So much respect from everybody. We're on the set, and I've met him before, so we had a brief chat, whatever. It was very nice. Very, very, very humble guy, very generous and talking to people and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is I'm doing the scene now with him at the end where when we have the shootout. So suddenly we're doing the makeup, and I feel a tap, and I look, and it's J.K. Simmons. He's like, hey, can I just like pitch you an idea for a second? So this is J.K. Simmons coming to me and pitching me an idea?
No, I don't have time for that. Oscar award-winning J.K. Simmons.
Like, yes, absolutely. So he's like, look, I was talking to the real cop that he's portraying, and he said when they were shooting at each other, they both had 12 or 8 bullets, and both of them ran out of bullets at the same time.
Oh shit!
At the same time, and my character, he threw the gun at him. So this was, no one knew
this is factual. That happened in real life.
Yeah, and it eventually made the cut because he told me that. I'm like,
you guys did such a great job with this movie.
So, yeah, right. So that's what I'm saying, man. Like when you work in that environment, it's just, oh man, it's I'm blessed, man, and all that hard work really paid off.
And normally, as a producer, and I'm not a director, but I've been an actor and I'm a producer and a writer. So like normally, I would say it's probably a bad idea to incorporate people from the real life event into the actual execution of production of the film, because of these things. But when you get little nuances like that, when you get those hidden gems, when you get they both ran out at the same time and then he threw the gun at it, like that should be, that's something that's a writer would write in the script. Like that should be created fictional, but it really happened. So there's so much honor and justice by this movie done to what actually happened. And I think that is one of the biggest appeals. Not only did you guys hit it out the park with an entertaining movie, an excellent job, and like, you know, I watched the movie and I knew you beforehand and I fucking hated you in the movie. So like, you did your job.
Thank you, man.
But point being is like, I think a lot of people see that on surface value and they don't realize obviously this is recreated. It's a fictional character like based on you. But at the same time, it's like, no, we took those little nuances as a way to honor the people who are actually involved. You know, you never would have expected like that story of like, oh, they ran out of guns at the same time and threw them. That's something like Tarantino would write in a script. You know what I mean? Like it's not far out of the realm of creativity, and it's almost movie aesthetic-esque. But I got to give a big shout out to everyone in Boston, and
absolutely.
We talk a lot of shit. We have fun here, but we have a serious note, and I really do want to convey the fact that we got nothing but love.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And I'm so grateful that a human being like you is the one leading that charge of that character because of who you are as an individual. Like everybody might relate the character to the person and convolute things, right?
That's the thing, man.
That's the challenge because you did such a damn good job.
Yo, when I talk to people and you know when they find out that I played that character, they can't believe it. And
you don't look. By the way, go to our YouTube and look at this video of motherfucker right now, and then pull up a screenshot of that.
I gained like over like 10 kilos, which in pounds, how many pounds is that? Maybe
I don't know 20, kilos, 20, 30, something like.
I went from like 169 to almost like 189.
Okay, yeah, like about 18 pounds or something.
Okay,
like
so 18 pounds.
Pounds,
There you go. So yeah. So it changed a lot. They gave me contacts, so my eyes were completely different. The colors of my eyes. My haircut was different. So that kind of like you don't
look like the same person. Physically.
No, I didn't. Absolutely not. And eventually, also the personality. So it was a hell of an adventure, man. And again, I was only here in LA for 4 months. I was going through like the worst.
Yeah, he was doing like skits with the Skitbags.
He went from Skitbags and hanging out with us
it was going downhill, dog.
One of the biggest movies in the world right there.
No. It was actually I had met, dude. We did. I don't know if you were on the set, but with Mike and Mickey, we did. We shot at the W Hotel. One of Skitbags' first. Skits.
I wasn't there on set, but I know what project you're talking about.
The one with Christian Del Grosso, that one with the party? You mean the party skit?
Party, bro.
Yeah, it was like
disco.
Is that the one where you guys got in a fight in the elevator?
No. This is when we was hanging with Christian Del Grosso, and he lived at 1600 Vine right next door. He had his apartment, and it's like a 2-level house apartment. That's when we first met Tame. He had the neon jacket on. It was supposed to be like a big rave party and people acting crazy, and it was for the closers where him and Mickey were picking up the girls and whatnot.
Got it.
Yeah. And I had like they gave me this jacket from Jongman. Jongman.
The God.
They gave me his jacket. They're like, you're just a guy from Russia, and you just want to pick up. I'm like disco. You know what I'm saying? It was fucking fun, bro. So that was my first month in LA, and I connected with Mickey, and that was the first day I saw Mickey again after not seeing him for like 2 years, and immediately I met so many people. I met you guys, and man, and then like a month and a half later, everything changed for me, man. It was incredible. My whole life, I got to meet Natasha, my love.
There you go. Natasha, say hello to the world.
Talk to the people, Natasha.
You've been here, and I feel bad because Dash had an emergency request, dip out a mic on the studio, so we're down with Mike. But I wanted to give you the props. Hey, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be here and good to meet everyone here. And
how'd you guys meet?
Well, actually, what happened was he was showing his premiere of 24 Legacy, one of the episodes. He rented out this Airbnb, and a couple friends came over, and we met through there, and also he played.
Nothing really happened at that time, and then I had to leave back home, and then when I got back, things really
Nice.
got picked up.
Nice.
But yeah, man, it was unbelievable after the movie, like how much, not only the movie but the whole journey, and how much of my life that that changed, and just to see that the hard work that goes into your craft and that goes into your passion, eventually you'll be repaid. You know what I'm saying? And you have to have that mentality of being open and saying yes to things you don't want to say yes to sometimes.
Oh yeah, I do that when I get drunk. You know what I mean? Now I got a question for Natasha. As the girlfriend of a gentleman who's been in a nice movie, you know what I mean? There's some hoes out there. Has there been any kind of lady traveler stalker types like trying to slip in the back door and whatnot and kind of throw off the relationship?
No,
That's all
that
good.
stuff doesn't phase
I'm
us.
good. Yeah,
But
I'm good.
that
I know
thing-
my shit is clean. You know what I'm saying?
you know these hoes is crafty. They crafty, man.
I think those hoes are everywhere, so it's kind of inevitable. You kind of have to like get past that,
Nice.
You always have to trust your partner.
Do you entertain or anything too? And whatnot? Because she said you have hair like a mermaid, so I assume people follow you around.
Well, I am an actress, singer, so
She's
I
an
mean,
ama-
if
no,
the
no,
Little
no. She's
Mermaid,
an amazing singer. We actually just recorded her first single, and now she's working on an EP.
Nice.
Yes, so she's an amazing singer. Yes, absolutely.
Hey, congrats.
So,
That's good one. See, a singing mermaid. You nailed it.
Pause. What's your
like
genre?
Ariel.
Plug your stuff right now because you're on Dash Radio as a singer. Come on, just shout out. Plug your stuff.
Shout out.
Links included in the description of the YouTube video. But yeah, give the people out there. You got a fan base now. What's up?
sure. I mean, the genre I sing is mostly like R&B, soul pop, so like Amy Winehouse style, Nora Jones, things like that. So yeah, I do have some stuff recorded actually. So
Where can they find it?
What's your Instagram or something so people can stalk you?
I'm actually not ever on social media.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Admirable.
Just not my thing. But yeah, I mean, I have some links and stuff like that. Personal links as well that I can give you guys or whatever.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Throw it in
Nice.
the IG. We'll throw it in the description.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, and that's the thing between me and Natasha is that we really support each other in terms of like acting, because it can be tough out there, man.
Oh, yeah.
You're an actor. You're everything, man.
Well,
You're not just an actor.
I did a little Renaissance.
Yeah, bro. You're an
stuff.
entertainer,
Bro,
host,
don't stroke his ego. He doesn't need it that bad.
So it's been great. It's been great being together with somebody that has the same state of mind and that has the same goal that you have. And when it comes to self-taping, you know how annoying it is when you have to ask your regular friends to record a self-tape with you. They don't understand, and you have to do it multiple times sometimes, because it's not always the best one the first time. So she gets,
generally, not always. What do you hear? Like every fucking time.
So no, it's been incredible, and right now, man, it's just it's just growing, and it's just challenging yourself and trying to go to that next level. You know what I mean?
Yo, so I'm so glad that you're here, because not only we're talking about Patriots Day and all this stuff, but you as an actor, I'm a big fan of.
Thank you.
I am a big fan of, because of everything that we just talked about. And like me, I come from the classical school of acting. I grew up doing musical theater. I'm method. I'm Stanislavski all way. Like Meisner when it's appropriate. But come on, let's get real. Like if it comes, I'm Daniel Day fucking Lewis up in this bitch when it comes to like getting into a part. And I feel that is you only get out of the acting job what you put in. If you prep so heavy, you might not use 70% of the prep, but it's there.
It's there whenever
it's there if you need it.
Absolutely.
And how would we gear our show to the person out there in Idaho who wants to get into the entertainment industry? The young actor, the young kid. What would you say as words of wisdom coming into this country, fresh off the boat, literally, and then going straight to the top of the king? Like, that is not the normal projection for everyone out there listening. So don't expect that. But like, as a person who's been blessed and graced with that, what kind of tips and tools can you give to the audience to navigate those waters?
See, when I started out, when I took acting seriously and professionally. Which it was basically like once when I was doing the Off-Broadway show in New York. Shout out to Living Theater.
What is that show?
Carlo D'Amore. If you ever in New York and you want to have fun and you want to see something not your usual type of theater or your usual type of play, check out the Living Theater.
There you go.
Yes, it's amazing. It's an interactive play.
Really?
Yes. It's drama.
Like audience participation interactive.
Yes. They have different. They have different timepieces. So one is in 1871. One is in 1972. So it's beautiful. So I was doing that in New York, but eventually I was ready to be in it for the next 10, next 20, next 30 years until I was gonna get my break. No one told me that I would come out to LA and in like 2-3 months I was gonna be in the room with Mark Wahlberg and Peter Berg trying to get this part. You know what I'm saying? But I was ready for tomorrow, for that to happen, or the next 10 years, or the next 20. So when you have that state of mind, you're on a good track.
Well, you're focused on the craft versus the results of your craft.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. If you think you're gonna make money with acting, say
good
goodbye.
fucking luck, guys.
Right.
We just had a big meeting yesterday with all of our new interns.
You're not gonna make any money.
I broke down the numbers. Here's for our listeners a little bit of numbers. There's 23 million people registered to vote in Los Angeles County. That's more than the amount of people who live in the entire continent of Australia. All right? That's a little perspective of how many human beings live in this small area. 500,000 of those people are registered SAG actors.
Damn.
So that's not even including everyone who comes out here to try to be a SAG actor.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta imagine with crew, grips, directors, DPs, everything like that, it's probably estimated like ballpark 2 million.
Yeah, easy.
2 million out of the 23 that are like trying to compete with you and whoever else you're involved with in the same medium. I mean, it's a big competition and
See, that's the thing. And I was listening to a podcast the other day with David Goggins. Shout out to him. And he said something
amazing.
He said something that's stuck with me like immediately, because that's exactly what my mindset was, but I never really labeled it. But he said it, and he said, like you said, right? So let's say 23 million people, 2 million of them are in the entertainment, well, maybe even more in the entertainment industry, but acting, whatever, right? So you have these people who are trying to be uncommon, right? Because becoming an actor or having a career in acting is not something something common. It's very uncommon. You know what I'm saying?
For the weirdos.
To be successful. So he's saying, in order to be uncommon, right? Or in order to do something uncommon, right? Like you come out to LA, you try out, go to auditions, and then to shine amongst the uncommon people, you need to be uncommon. So you need to be uncommon within the uncommon.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Special amongst the special.
You got to be, So it's because it's so hard to get noticed these days. Everyone is so distracted with their phones and with their YouTubes or with their this or with their that. So it's so hard to get noticed. And everything's happening so fast. So to me, when I moved out here and I did not know a single person, swear to God. I moved out to the United States in 2012. I was barely speaking English. And I had to get I had to grind, I had to hustle. Without no guarantee that something was gonna happen. There was no guarantee, but I knew that if I might as well try it. I could stay home and just talk about it, but if I never try it, you'll never know, right? So when I came out to LA,
Yoda, do or do not. There's no try.
Yes, exactly. So you're gonna do it, right? I came out to LA, and I thought New York was tough, but LA was even tougher, man. It was insane. And I was living up in Pasadena. I don't know if you guys, you know Pasadena, right? Yeah. I didn't have a car.
Oh, that sucks. I already know where you're going with this.
And I got a bicycle for $50 on Craigslist.
Nice.
And I was gonna be the uncommon amongst the uncommon, because I was going to bike for 4 hours a day just to get any audition.
Yo. Shout the fuck out to you, because I live in Redondo. And when I first moved here 2.5 years ago, all I had was a bike, and I would bike from Redondo to the office in West fucking Hollywood.
That's what I'm saying.
And it took me 4 hours. But that's what I tell people. It's like, how bad do you want it?
Exactly.
How bad? dad.
Yeah.
What's your drive?
Hallelujah.
So when I was doing those 4 hours, man, I was doing it with a smile.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying I'm here right now, and there's
Me
somebody
too.
else talking about it while I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I was doing that for a while. I had some. I did some personal training too to get some time. I had a side gig at Marshall's. I was doing everything to come by at the same time, managing to get auditions. And when you're in that position, man, nothing can stop you, man. Nothing can stop you. And then it happened. You know what I mean? And my hard work was paid off. And you get that one shot. And like you said, you're not always going to need it, that 70%. But when you get that shot, that 70% is very valuable.
I think that's a very important note to hit on for other actors out there, because there's a lot of actors out there who like, I just want to be in film. What's the advantage of being trained on stage? And I go, you're totally lacking as a producer and as somebody who has the experience being on stage and has that improv. Like, you have to be completely rehearsed, completely off book. There's people who show up to sets and they're not off book. And I go, what the fuck are you doing? Get out. You're fired. No, you're instantly, you're fired. Don't show up to my set with being on book. I'll fucking fire you. I don't care who you are. You know, like, that's just like a notable thing, because I know that like somebody who's done that backstory, somebody who's done all that prep work, I can depend on to say, do your craft. Do what is really successful for you. You have the training. I don't need to micromanage. I don't need to tell you how to say a line. I don't need to, do this. Even as a director or producer, whatever, writer, it doesn't matter. But like, my job as a producer, I view, is to hire people that are better than me at their jobs. So including actors, DPs, directors, whatever. It's like, I trust that they are of the caliber and they have the craft to be able to execute and then carry that weight and carry the show, man. And that's one of the reasons I really, really, really appreciate your craft.
Absolutely,
I think you've done a phenomenal job in your repertoire, and I can't give you more props. I know I keep bringing it back, but
I appreciate it, man. That is my main goal. That is my main goal. You know what I'm saying? To let that guy know who's in Georgia, who's in Belgium, who's in Europe, whatever, wherever you are, that, man, if you want this, right? If you want this, there are no excuses for you not doing this. There is no guidance from your parents. There is no guidance from your teacher, from your best friend. It's just you. You know what I'm saying? You know you, and you got to do yourself a favor, and you got to make it happen. No one else can do it for you. So
how bad do you want it?
That's the phrase. No one else can do it for you. Say that in a Georgian. Say that in the nature of Georgian. No one else can do it for you.
For sure. Let's get some shout out in native language.
In Georgian, that would be Hold on, I gotta rephrase myself, man. I got a lot of languages going on right now.
By the way, you are very well executed on the English language. I'm so surprised that
English
you
than
have
his natural language.
Dude, thank you. Dude, it's insane. It's like, I haven't been in Georgia for over like 10 years now. My family lives in Belgium, where in Belgium we speak Dutch and French.
Right.
So I grew up with learning Dutch and French, at the same time speaking Georgian, then coming over to the US, and then catching on with that New York accent slang. Dude, that's insane, man. It was crazy,
but you still had that Boston accent too in your character. A little bit hint. I know. I heard it through.
Okay, but no one else can do it for you.
Yeah, so that is Shen Magyurat Swa Verizaus. Shen Magyurat Swa Verizaus.
There we go.
Shen Magyurat Swa Verizaus.
There you go. That's right.
And then
retweet.
And then you have in Dutch you would say something like in your plaats zal niemand anders kunnen doen alleen jijzelf. So
hashtag
it's hashtag it. Not the most practical hashtag, but that's to the key point. To come down to the key point. That's what it is, man. And once I got to that point where it was happening, and I was like, it felt like a dream. I only got hungrier.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I only got hungrier, and then you see how much your body is capable of.
Speaking of, I gotta give a shout out because most people don't. I've seen your reel, and I've seen your physical stuff that you've done back in Georgia and back in the Eastern Bloc. I don't know where the fuck you shot it at, but I saw you're doing like parkour and I watched that and I go, dude, not only does this guy have the physical acting chops of the emotional character driven stuff where you can see the micro expressions in his face, you go up and you fucking kill it like an action flick, bro. Like you're jumping around off of buildings doing fucking combat sports, and I go, how does that play? Like as an actor, obviously you have to be prepared for everything, but I think it's important to say, as developed as you're gonna be from a Stanislavski, Meisner preparation standpoint, you got to be physical as well. You keep training, you keep in shape. You got to keep the look. You have to also keep in physical shape to be able to do those stunts. By the way, great stunt work. By the way, I love it.
Thank you. See, and all that came from one man, Bruce Lee.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
always with that extra touch. Puppy Crow with that extra touch. But no, he's right. Bruce Lee and his quote, "Be like water." That's what it is, man. That's what it is. And as an actor, you can't be one-dimensional. You have to, I'm ready right now to do a ballet movie, and then I'm ready to do a parkour movie, and I'll be ready to do an American football movie, whatever. I don't want to be limited. Why would anybody be limited? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yo, all you guys out there listening to this, be fucking hungry because you got the GOAT right here, bro. I was competing. Dude, honestly, like you gotta you set the bar. Yo, and that's a good standard to set for other people to learn.
That's what I'm saying. See, like I don't want that to be the bar. I want that to be the standard.
There you go.
See, imagine if everybody had that standard of like, why
a producer can dream.
Why would I be limited? Why? I hate when I just don't accept that phrase when people say, "Oh, I can't do that," or "Oh, I wish." See, the difference between somebody making it and somebody not making it is because one is wishing to doing it and one is saying, "I'm gonna do it."
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? That's the difference. That's the only difference. Not their talent, not their financial background, not their parents. You know what I'm saying? No, it's one guy is saying, "I wish I could do that," and the other one saying is, "I'm gonna do that."
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
100%.
if that shouldn't be a bar, that should be a standard. Like Muhammad Ali, when he was asked once, "How many setups do you do?" He said, "I don't count my setups. I only count when I start feeling the pain." So to him, counting your setups as the bar, no, that's not the bar. To him, that's the standard. I'm only gonna start counting when I feel pain, and that's his bar. So you could go on and on with these phrases. It could be like, "Oh, I watched an motivational movie," or "I'm going to read this book." I love when people, "I'm reading this book right now. It's amazing. It's amazing." You can read thousands of books, man. You can spend thousands of hours in acting class, right? You can spend thousands of dollars on seminars, but until that point comes where you're going to open that door and actually going to do what you're going to say you're going to do, none of that is going to be invaluable. All that knowledge and all those books and the acting class are only going to be useful once you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's really like, stop, it's like less talking, man. You just gotta go out and do it. You know what I mean?
Yes, I have a phrase. I say, don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah, exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly. And that's when I in Belgium, like here in LA, talking to people and saying that you're an actor, that's common. Everybody here in LA, that's
Everybody
common.
likes to say, "I'm an actor."
There's 2, 4, 6, 7 actors in the room right now.
Yeah, here.
Everybody in this room is a fucking actor at one point.
You hear it often, right? But when you say that in Belgium, people look at you like a joke. You're like, oh, not from a bad point of view, but they're like,
right.
That's cute.
right.
You're
Good
homeless.
luck.
You're homeless. You have no job.
Good luck finding a job, right? See, when I heard that, I was like, yeah, you keep laughing, but like it will happen. It will happen. And now
no wonder you and Mark Wahlberg got along so well.
the most amazing thing, and this is the most amazing thing, is that some of my high school friends, now when I go back, I see them still in the same city.
Yep, same spot.
Still in the same spot.
Same spot. Old and fat.
Not necessarily, but they're still there at the same spot that they were like let's say 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So in that 10 years, when you say, nothing is like, you know what, like when people say like, what's the worst that could happen? You could just stay on the same level. That's actually the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah.
I'd rather go back, learn from my mistakes, and then grow than staying at the same fucking spot.
Dude, you're preaching to the choir, and I think that's important.
Yo, it is, man. It is. Yes, you cannot stay on the same spot. You rather make mistakes, take those risks, man. I
don't care if you're 40 years old and you're like halfway through all this experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make the jump.
Yeah, you have no idea how many times they said, yeah, you're not gonna get this, or how many times they said you have an accent, you won't be able to get this part, and they were right. I did not get that part.
Nah, fuck them, bro. Yeah, now you laughing all the way to the credit bank.
So how many times you will take a risk and it won't work out? That's part of it. You know what I'm saying? But it will become a reality once you make it a reality. Once whatever they say to you, once you start agreeing with that, then guess what? That will be a reality. You will be a loser. You won't get that part. But until you accept that phrase that they're saying to you that you won't be able to make it, it's just a phrase.
It's a defeatist mindset.
It's just a fantasy. That it's their own fantasy.
Look, you are the master of your own destiny. If you don't believe in yourself, then no one else is going to believe in you.
You know, a great example of that is the woman who plays Elphaba on Broadway right now. She actually worked a 9-to-5 desk job for the past 20 years. And one day she looked at her life and she was like, I fucking hate my life.
Absolutely.
And she quit. She quit right on the spot, and less than 2 months later, she was playing the most coveted role on Broadway.
There you go. Shout out to her. What's her name?
I think her name's Stephanie something.
Beautiful.
Yeah, shout out. Thanks, guys.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know who you were talking about, but that story is amazing and good for her. When I was here right before, in those months here in LA, I got this recruiting job at Nordstrom for customer service. I actually went in and I saw everybody else sitting there preparing their little notes and dressed up in a suit, doing customer service.
Did you cry? Because I would have.
I was waiting, right? I signed in. I was looking at everybody, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I got up and I walked out. I never went for the interview. Never.
Damn. Yeah. See, that is something that is real life that can be translated and relatable. That should be in a movie. That should be in a TV series.
Absolutely,
that
man.
scene, that is real life that can be translated that a lot of people can relate to, because everybody else would have sat there, but you.
No,
and the select few, the certain tier, the ones who say that type of attitude and that type of mentality, they're the ones who go, fuck this, I'm walking out.
Yeah. My mom, she had a really cool phrase, and when I told her I'm gonna go to to America and become an actor, she said, jump first and then say hup, like I jumped.
Yeah.
And I said, Mom, I'm not gonna jump. I'm not planning to jump. I'm planning to fly.
Right.
Yeah.
You're on another level. You're on another level. What do you mean jump? I'm not jumping. I'm flying. I always looked at the greats, man. When I remember, I on purposely didn't. I still sometimes I don't watch the Oscar season and Golden Globe season, whatever, because I'm like, yo, why do I have to watch? I gotta work. If they're up there, I gotta be up there too. And this was me doing short films. I was comparing my short films, shitty, horrible short films, to to the greats and to the Hollywood standard. If they're on that standard, why am I here? So when I was in Belgium, I wasn't looking into acting schools in Belgium. No, I was looking at acting schools in New York. Yeah. I wanted to go, I wanted to reach the top. So I didn't have that standard, let's say. I didn't have that bar where this is where you got to start. There's no, man. And then the whole thing here in LA too, you got to become SAG, you got to do this. Yeah. No, we don't. No, that's not true, bro. You got to go out there. You got to make sure you connect with people. You got to make sure you're respectful. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about you. You're not the star.
Yeah.
You're not.
This is a relationship.
This is a relationship.
Look at
industry. Look at us.
Yes.
I didn't know you when I came here.
Yes.
Mickey invited me to this, to this gig.
How many times have we met before this? 2?
Yeah, exactly. 2, not even, bro. Yeah, exactly.
Right. And now I feel like we're having a conversation. We're almost practically like good BFFs. You know what I mean? It's so saying, natural.
Bro. That's what I'm saying. So if you think that if you don't have that state of mind that every opportunity can change your outcome later on, then you're wrong, because it will. It absolutely will. Great example. Natasha, watch this. Natasha, she did. How many years ago was this when you got that play anniversary?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, she got a little play called Anniversary, in an acting class, right? She got partnered up with this guy. They were gonna do it, prepare for the class. It never worked out. The guy, he bailed out. But she really loved the piece, so she kept it. 2 years later, she meets me. I'm like, hey, look, we got to work on your reel, for the agency, whatever. You got to have something nice. She's like, look, I have this scene that I always wanted to do, but I never got the chance. She gives me this. I read it. It's beautiful, really, really well written. 10-minute piece, very short. We film it with Mike Hermosa. We filmed the scene in one night, no budget. You know what I mean? Just
At
us.
our house.
And at her house.
Shout out to Mike Hermosa.
Right.
Shout out to Mike Hermosa.
That's
absolutely.
right. Wild 7 Films, low budget specials, dog.
Absolutely. He came in clutch. So we shot it at one night. I edited myself with a friend. I looked up color correction, whatever tutorials, Premiere Pro tutorials together. We went through it. We made it at her house. We got the reel, and because of that reel, a month ago, she got signed by an agency, NLA.
Boom.
So, round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Don't chase the dream, do the work.
Exactly. So if she didn't go to that acting class, and if she hadn't kept that script, you know what I mean? This would have maybe it might have happened differently, but we don't know, or it would have never happened, right?
It's just taking initiative.
Yeah, and now they watch the reel that we made in her house. Us editing, you don't need a professional editing. No, man. If you want to do, you can do yourself. Yep. So and now she got signed by an agency right before pilot season. So that's what I'm saying. So anybody out there that's in this business, it's up to you. The moment is now and not tomorrow. It's up to you to take that initiative and then make it happen. And you got to say yes. And that's what I learned from John Man. Shout out to him.
John Man.
You have to have an open mind, and you have to be willing that anything can happen at any moment. So
now John Man might be giving you a lot of drugs as he tells you this.
But keep in mind, he wants the best for you.
He wants the best for you. But if he remembers it the next day.
So now that you've got your insight into this world of Hollywood, now that I feel comfortable saying you know what you're doing. Right. for to the most effect. You've been in the big budget, you've been in the small budget, in the indie realm. You've experienced kind of it all. What would you do if somebody handed you a big bag of money, unlimited resources? Here's, you won the lotto. Do you want to act in a project? Do you want to produce? Do you want to write? Do you want to direct? What is your unlimited resources? What is your, as far as your character or as far as you as a human being, want to do?
That's a good question. Something that needs some thinking, but
I just say, I love to throw those curveballs of life-changing, intricate questions that are really deep thought. And hey,
what's your avatar? What's your avatar? What's your thing? You're damn, if I had the chance to just do anything I want, I would make blah blah blah.
Well, Themo, give me the rest of your life in a rundown in 5 minutes.
I'm working on my own project now. It's called 3 Inches to the Left, which I will be talking to you afterwards. Definitely.
Yes. Is that like a penis thing?
Oh, it actually started out.
I love how Carl's goes to a dick joke. Carl's head always goes to a dick joke. So when I said
that's the first thing I wanted to know what he had in his mind that he had to say that.
A big dick.
Like a curve, a curve 3 inches to the left.
Actually, a good acronym for that is TITTLE. 3 inches to the left. Yeah, that's what I call it. Are you still working on TITTLE?
I am still working on TITTLE. Yeah, but it's a project that I've been writing now for a while, and it's a sports drama, and that's something I would love to invest in. And not only that, but also I have my friends out here who we are trying to collaborate and help each other out creatively or creatively. See, sometimes the accent pops out, bro. You got to keep that in mind. But I don't know, man. As far see, that's the thing, man. I never really thought of it that way. I never thought of what would happen. What could I do if I got huge amount of money?
I think that's what makes you a great actor.
Yeah.
Because you're not focused on the what if. You're so focused on what's in front of me.
Yeah, I'm absolutely not the whole money thing, man. It's honestly when I was living in New York and in a 1-bedroom apartment with another with one of my other friends whose name is Mohammed. Shout out to him. He's in Qatar now, chilling. He's becoming an engineer. But
shout out.
Yeah, we had only 1 bedroom, bro, and I had to like do it like $50 a week in New York. And I gotta say,
so how many free things did you go hunt for?
You have no idea. You have no idea how improvisational you can get when you're like low on money.
You're like, Tuesday's free bread giveaway at this cafe, and then Wednesday is this free. I got it. I've been there, bro.
Yeah, bro. And the thing is, man, I was so happy.
Yes.
You know,
you're free.
I was so happy because I was doing my Broadway show. Yeah. You know, like 3 times a week. I was getting like $37 minus tax. Dude, that's all I needed, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was so, I had my skateboard. I was riding the streets of New York with. Yeah. I was, you know, I came home.
Bro, that's as American as you fucking can get right there, bro.
Yeah, man, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So a huge amount of money will never make you happy.
Yes.
Like people say like, oh, I need money. If I had money, I could make this movie or I can make that script. Bro, that's some bullshit you're telling yourself of not make that project or whatever you're talking about, right? So money is definitely not the key. Money will never make you happy.
It's an enhancer. It only enhances whatever you already got going on.
Now, don't get me wrong though. You should definitely get paid for what you deserve. Of course. Absolutely. Yeah. You should be paid for your job. That's for sure. But you cannot be passionate about something just because of the money. That will never ever work out.
That's a message to all you prostitutes out there. Make sure you're doing it for the love. And make sure you get paid. Make sure you get paid and do it for the love. All right.
Natasha's like,
I know. I just can place myself hypothetically in Natasha's shoes. She's like, what the fuck did I just walk into on this radio show?
I love it, man. I love the energy. I love it. That's the key, man. That's the key. So like, I don't know. Maybe let's bring up that question again once I get that money.
We'll talk off air, bro. We'll talk off air. We'll talk good. Right? Don't worry about that. What do you think for your as an actor? What are some of the favorite roles that you've either had the opportunity to perform or that you would like to perform? Because I know for me, I'm like, as an actor, I have like a dream of like, I want to do this piece in Shakespeare. I want to do this piece in this classic movie as a revamp. Like one of my big things is I would love to be a producer or an actor on a revamp of Pinball Wizard and like the Queen and like that aesthetic of whether it's that particular show of Tommy or whether it's something in that same genre. I don't know, but everybody's got those ideals, right?
So to me, I actually already at some level had the pleasure to experience that dream type of like moment or the dream part. I was playing and it was again Living Theater. It was a Broadway show called The Murder of Venus.
I'm so glad you brought right background, by the way. I got give a shout out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're talking with a bunch of Broadway people.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, I was fucking Gavroche in Les Mis.
Oh really?
Yeah, and on Broadway.
That's awesome, dude.
When I was young, I was 10 years old. Yeah, no, I grew up as I was a performer.
Talked about your background. Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I was a performer before I was ever a writer, producer, and anything else.
And that's how it goes back to the theater, man. Nothing is more precious than that one moment you have with the audience, right? So I was playing. So in this play called The Murder of Venus Extravaganza, which is based on true events. That happened in the 70s, and I was playing a street crack addict from the 70s. Called Tony.
How method did you get into that role?
All right.
Okay, so
that was like pre-crack.
How many rocks did it take to get to the center of that Tootsie Pop?
So I'm on the streets while the investigation is going on. The investigators are the audience, whatever, and then we all go back to the theater. So. And the thing about Tony is he obviously, he has sex for like drugs and whatnot. He has AIDS, but he doesn't know. So he has these marks on his body. So every time, people would come by or the audience, I approach him, I start talking to him, whatever. I give him the information they need, basically, and part of the story. And at the end, I'm like, hey, is any of you guys a doctor, man? And then I show my marks. I'm like, something's happening to me. It's like itching, whatever, right? And at one point, this audience comes up to me, we're talking, whatever, and I get to that moment where I have to like show, the marks, and I show the marks, and usually they all go like quiet because they know what's going on. They don't know what to say, but this time, like when I showed it, this one guy came forward, and I'm like, you know what this is, man? Like, what's going on? I don't understand why this is happening. I can't sleep and whatever. He's like, he looks at me, touches my shoulder. He looks at me, he's like, you're gonna die.
Damn.
You're gonna die, son. And I'm like, what do you mean, man? But he was so real. Like to him, it got real. It was not a play anymore.
Seen it before, yeah.
Here it comes. He said, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're gonna die. I'm like, what do you know? Me, not a doctor, man. Shut up, man. He's like, you know why I know that? It's because my son had it. Yo, when he said that, I teared up.
Right.
Straight up. And this guy gave me a hug. And from a play, it went into like a reality, and it made him think about his side. It probably, it gave him memories too, whatnot. And in that moment, something that was, fictional became real. Real. And I was like, he just hugs me, and I hugged him back, and I just bawled into his shoulder. And then he left. And then after the show, the audience left, whatever. But then after the show, after the whole play, whatnot, he comes up to me, he's like, man, that was incredible. I just want to, thank you for like being in that moment with me, and that was to me one of the highlights as an actor, to be being in a script, being in this universe that you created, whatever, but then eventually that universe gets shaken up by reality. And that's the craziest thing, man. Nothing is crazier than the reality itself. So that was a beautiful moment. Yeah.
This was in New York?
This is in New York, man.
So I'm just picturing, there wasn't no wild behind Puerto Rican or Italian, like, hey, you gonna be bumpy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You look fucked up, man. You're like, you need to go get that checked out.
Constantly, because what you do is like you wait on the street, right? You wait on the street. I'm wearing like, dude, I'm like fucked up. I got my, like my hair's all messed up. I got like marks on my face. My jeans is all ripped. So everybody thought I was homeless. So I got used to that, right? yeah. And then when the last group comes, I gotta go back with the group to the theater, and when I'm walking, I see those the payphones. I go there, I'm like checking if there are some quarters in there, whatever. So I'm making it as realistic as possible. So like at one point, people when you're standing there, people see you as a homeless guy. Yeah. So this one woman, while I'm doing this bit with the audience, she came down. She's like, and she was like from the streets. She was living like right across the street, but she's seen me there like multiple times by now. So she comes up, she's like, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you guys, but I just want to say this. I want to give this sandwich to this young guy over here. He's here every week, and I'm so sorry you live on the streets. So she gave me a sandwich. I'm like, oh, thank you so much.
You're just too good at being an actor. Yeah. Everybody believes everything that you do. Even when you do fake shit, everyone just believes it.
And it was not me, man. We had travestites who were on the streets yelling and shit. It's a great show. I'm telling you, the Living Theater. When you're in New York, you gotta check it out. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience. We had guests from like Apple to Google to Breitling to like very big people. So, and it's very, very, you know what I mean, like underground. So, but it's really good. It's really, really raw, and you should definitely check it out. So that's where I started basically in theater. That was that was my genesis.
Well, Themo, I gotta give a big thank you to you for coming on the show. On behalf of our audience members, thank you to being so authentic as an actor and being so preparatory. I think these are lessons that are important that people need to hear about, because in this town of fake Hollywood bullshit, there has to be a through line of real heartfelt reality, and you are right there on the pulse, brother.
Dude, it was an absolute honor and a pleasure to be here,
I love you. I'm so grateful. You got an open invitation anytime. Both you and Natasha, come back whenever. But give a shout out to your fans out there. Tell to the camera, where can people find you? Plug your shit. What's coming up? What's going on in your world? Let people know.
Absolutely. Shout out to everybody who's listening to this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. These guys are fucking awesome. The energy is here. It's just unbelievable. I can't believe like what is it? 45 minutes already, or like?
Dude, we're at an hour 15.
That's insane. An hour 15.
I think, like 15
minutes.
Something like that.
That's crazy.
That's why I was like, we got an hour as our block. But hey, man, all this unedited is gonna be on YouTube. It's on iTunes, Spotify, Dash Radio. Shout out to Dash. We love you guys. guys. But yeah, go for it.
Thanks to the listeners, man. Thanks to the listeners, because this is all for you guys, obviously. And everybody out there that wants to know more about me and wants to check it out is Themo JN, Themo JN on Instagram at Themo JN, and on Facebook just my name, Themo Melikidze. Papi Carlo can inform you about that. He knows my name better than myself. And yeah, man, be yourself, absolutely be yourself, and just know that when you say you can do something, you will be able to do something, and when you say you can do something, guess what? You won't be able to do something. So it's up to you. It's up for you to decide. So that will be my closure line, brother.
Words from the GOAT.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom.
Almost GOAT. Almost. We're getting there.
Yo, you're a GOAT in my book, brother, and that's all that matters to me. You know. So like, obviously,
thank
your
you
possession.
Really
look, you.
That's the whole. That is my whole. Like, if I had to give you my main goal, that is my goal, to inspire other people. That's all I want. The same way when I got inspired when I was a little kid watching Bruce Lee on like black and white TV with Chinese and Russian subtitles, which I didn't understand shit. The same way he inspired me, hopefully one day I can inspire like a kid out there who lives wherever, and he, who will get that inspiration from me to do what he loves and what he's passionate about, and who's not going to be afraid of living in dogma of other people's thinking. You know what I mean? So it's for them.
Yo, for all you newbies listening out there, they're trying to come out to Hollywood. Step up your fucking game, bro. Because you got people like T-Mac over here.
I'm out
in the building, and I'm not talking about Thomas sitting behind the boards. I'm talking about Themo over here.
I'm out here, man.
Yo, you got to compete with that.
Come see me. Let's go. Let's see what you got.
Thomas like, hold about, I'll be working hard and shit.
No.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but we are blessed. We are grateful.
Guys.
Thank you so much for coming on call. Lead us off. Let's go around the circle and let people know what's going on in the world.
What's good?
Shit, man. Just, Papi Carlo, the Ding Dong Show at Mondays at the Comedy Store, 10 o'clock every Monday and whatnot. Even though it may be the last Ding Dong Show ever soon.
Ding Dong.
Oh, my God.
Scary situations. Also, check out gtcomedyjam.com and whatnot. Check out the Clapper on Dag on the whatever these things that they have shit on Netflix. Check out, the Scramble movie on goddamn iTunes. I don't mention that enough. With Black Jesus and whatnot. And always check out The Office Uprising. Always check out just Skitbags. And once again, thanks to Themo the guy for coming through.
No, it's all me, man. I'm thankful. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome.
Absolutely. Later.
T?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at TMCD with 2 underscores.
Sailor _Dev. More importantly, be sure to check out skitbags.com. You're going to see all of the rest of our shows. We got Fight Up in the building. We got The Mix and Serve. We got Film History, the history of film. And those are the only things that we got currently right now. And I'm happy to announce we are in project conjunction with Tastemakers of building our own channel here. So
keep an eye out.
So stay tuned. Keep an eye out. We got 15 shows coming at you hot, whether they're going to live on YouTube, all the platforms, or whether they're going to be here on Dash. We bring you the hottest content. We bring you the hottest stars. We bring you the love of your life. And we bring you the knowledge that you are lacking in your everyday world. And on that note, Skitbags Radio. We out.
Yeah,
we
out.
Gang, 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 gang. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
Skitbags Radio.